Good day, everybody. Terry Lee Harrison from Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters, and I'm so excited to come to you live today with another fantastic, amazing guest. I would love for you to meet Janice Porter. She is my new business friend and networking partner out of the Vancouver, Washington area. Not Washington, oh my gosh. Out of Vancouver area. Why did I say Washington? Because she's actually out of Canada and she can tell us all the details. So welcome, Janice. Goodness.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Is there Vancouver, Washington too? Is that why I said that?
I think so. Vancouver, Washington is a twin city right beside Portland, Oregon. So they're like right next to each other.
You see what I did there, people, but yeah.
Okay, it's all good.
Totally
Vancouver, BC, Canada. We're the pretty Vancouver because we have the ocean and we have the mountains. So we're right on the coast. Okay. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I'll never forget that. From now on, I'm going to choose from the pretty Vancouver. Yeah, so sure. I got it.
Right?
So we have a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to try to relax here and get into the groove. And it's the internet for you. So I'd love to introduce you a little bit more to Janice more formally, and then we have some awesome chatting to do. So Janice is a LinkedIn trainer. She is a relationship marketing specialist. She will help you increase your sales by building relationships online and to nurture them offline. And she is just so good at what she does. So welcome, Janice.
Thank you. That's very kind words. Thank you very much. I just actually, before we came online, was listening to somebody, a friend of mine who's part of my card sending business. And she is like, the passion that she speaks about sending cards to people is unbelievable to me. And she really hypes people up about how important it is to stay connected. And I think that fits into what we're going to talk about today. And I just wanted to share that because she's like so excited all the time about what she does. And
that is so good. That is so good. Shouldn't we all be so excited all the time about what we do?
We should, but I mean, there are no shoulds, but it would be nice if we are excited about what we do and how we serve people. And yeah, when you're in your groove and when you know what you love to do, that happens. And I feel like I have that. I love what I do. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's one way I would totally describe you. So if I could ask you.
Yeah.
What are some of the top things? Like if we were to do 3 top things that you just love to teach and share to business owners, just in the course of being Janice and who you are, like some of your top tips ever, what would they be? So do you have number 1 for me? It doesn't have to be in any order.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to knowing how to use LinkedIn, because I'm a LinkedIn trainer, a teacher, and people, some of the interesting things they say about it. So the first thing I always ask them, and I think this is really important to know, is, I think every business professional would benefit from being on LinkedIn, but where's your audience? So know if your audience is there or one of your audiences, because then it's really important that you're there and you're speaking to them so that they can find you. So that would be one tip, and that's all about LinkedIn and then everything else will fall into place, setting up your profile, knowing how to connect with people, knowing who to connect with, knowing how to find the right people, knowing how to become an authority in that space. All of that will come to play. Number 2, one of the most important things that I would say to people is, and that means a lot to me, is, it's funny, it sounds really small in a way, but it's not. But in business, never leave a meeting without setting the next meeting. Think about that. Never leave a meeting without setting the next meeting. Because, and this is a lead into what I'm going to be talking about with you, I think, because if you don't follow up and move things forward, nothing ever happens. So that's
so good.
And number 3, I think I would say, be curious, because when you're curious about people and you ask questions, that is the way that you can learn how to best serve someone, is if you listen to them and you're curious about what they do, and that will help you know whether there's a fit and how you can help them, whether you can help them and how you can help them. That's it.
Mm. Those are awesome. And so profound and yet simple at the same time.
Right.
Sometimes we just don't do them, right?
Oh,
right.
Totally.
So let's talk about the curious factor. Have you ever talked to a business owner and they don't ask you anything about you?
Yes. And I know we talked about this the other day. Yes. And it's mind blowing, but you can get, I work from my gut or my heart, and I can tell there's no fit when that happens. And it's not that I really care that they ask about me. And yet that brings up that quote that should be on the front of a card. People don't care what you know until they know you care. Right? So if you don't even ask me anything, I'm sure you're not really caring about anything about me. It's all about you.
Yeah. So in our scheme of like relationship marketing and networking, that's just one of the things that we could impart to people today is, I know right now there's a lot going on in the world, and we all want to grow our business and we all need sales, but we have to, as you say, be curious. We have to, just really stop and find out about the person and what we can do to help them. And they won't forget that. They won't forget that.
No. And then you can always do one more thing to help them remember, right? Somebody, I wrote this down, but I don't remember where I wrote it down from. I was talking to somebody for the first time yesterday. I think it was somebody from Virtual Network, actually. Mm-hmm. And I asked something, and it might have been I was doing a podcast interview, and this person gave me a quote that came from, I think, a grandparent, and it said, "By mistake, you learn." And I thought, oh my God, that's so true. When we do, everything goes well and we have good, positive results and things, we don't learn as much as from the things that don't go so well. Mm-hmm. By mistake, you learn. So I'm putting that on a card and sending it to her. I don't know who it was, but yeah.
It's true. Sometimes that's exactly how we learn, right? It's when, or even when you get a question of, hey, I didn't receive this, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was broken in my business or whatever, right? Right. So true. So how we and how we deal with it, how we deal with the mistake too.
Oh, so that's even more important, actually. Mm-hmm. What's your recovery? How do you make that happen?
Yeah, I agree. That's so good. So,
sorry.
No. This is life working from home.
Yes, I know. It's okay. It's all good.
So it's all good. So especially in pretty Vancouver. It's beautiful Vancouver. Right now. Happens here in Singapore too. So let's talk about our upcoming virtual summit. So is it a week from today?
No. It's
yes.
Friday.
I don't know. Oh, tomorrow. A week from tomorrow. So 8 days. 8 days from now, we have yes. So 8 days from now, we have the most exciting thing happening for anybody in business who is wanting to grow right now. And Janice is one of our amazing speakers. I can't wait for you to hear from her, because you even see from the tips that she gave, just the golden nuggets that are inside of what she teaches. And so our summit's the Increase Your Influence, Increase Your Impact Summit. Put the information up. It is June 4th through 6th. Timing wise, if you can participate live, we'd love to have you. It is 3 p.m. Pacific, up to possibly 6 p.m. Pacific, depending on timing with speakers. It's those 3 days. If you grab your ticket, it's a free ticket. You can grab it at vteamsummit.com. You can always catch a replay. So don't think, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss this. I want to invite you to come in if this is something that interests you, because you're going to hear from amazing people like Janice. So Janice, why don't we talk a little bit about what your topic will be? Because I think if there's one place anybody in business falls down, it's here. And so share with us a little bit about what you'll be sharing at the summit.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say that it's my honor and pleasure to be part of this summit. I had a small window into the first one that you did after I connected with you, and it was pretty powerful. There was a lot of really good information from some really amazing people whom I've since talked to and met and brought into my circle as well. So that's great. So I'm going to be talking about follow-up. I think follow-up is the most underused thing and not done properly in so many ways. So my topic is called Follow-Up Secrets to Close More Sales. So it's really about, it starts with networking properly. It starts with talking to people properly and listening and all of that curiosity factor. And then it's about, okay, so they're not necessarily going to buy right away. In most cases, they don't these days. So we're going to be looking at what kind of things you can do to follow up, when you should follow up, different types of follow up, and how to ask for, I'm not into it's not about sales training. It's about following up and being top of mind. And as I like to say, staying connected to be remembered.
Awesome. Awesome. I think a lot of people, this is a struggle for them, just even on what system do I use, how organized you are, and I think there's people like me that love to talk and do the things and then we take our notes of what we have to do, and then we go from one meeting to the next, and then we have to go back and do the things, right? So, so how are you able to organize that, delegate that out? Even like email systems, what emails do you have going out? How is that going? This is just also so crucial. And so I'm excited for your insight, because I know that this is something you're passionate about, something that you love, and that you truly overall as a relationship marketing strategist are an expert in this. So excited to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that we get lots of people on there that are looking for ways to stay connected and to looking for a follow-up system in a way, to make it happen. And something I was going to say, just thinking about how many touches it often takes before people will make a decision. So that's something we'll look at, and how you can not necessarily shorten the gap, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, because, if you don't ask, then nothing ever happens. So
that's right. That's right. It's all about asking, and it's all about inviting them to stay in the conversation.
Exactly.
And these days, as all of our businesses are moving more online, if you will, or many of our businesses are, just even being able to look at how do we handle our follow-up from here now that things have changed a little bit. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's a little different, but what I do know is that Janice will challenge you no matter how you're doing on your follow-up. I think that there'll be something that she says that has great value for you and will cause you to say, oh my gosh, I have to level that up. That was very powerful. So very excited to hear from you. Janice, tell us if people are hearing you and being like, oh my gosh, I could use more information on LinkedIn, or tell us how that they can find you online. Well, I obviously on LinkedIn, but go ahead, tell us.
They can find me on my website at janiceporter.com, and of course on LinkedIn, and certainly reach out. If anybody has any particular questions on follow-up that they want to have answered, if they can put that somewhere, maybe in the comments below this video, that would be awesome, and I'll make sure that I can cover those for them. The one other place they can find me is on my podcast, which is called Relationships Rule. So relationships with an S on the end, Relationships Rule, and it's on all of the top channels for podcasts. So yeah, we'd love that.
Awesome. Well, Janice, I want to thank you for your time, and thanks for your insight, and definitely look to having you be part of the summit, and we're so happy that you're part of my network and my networking event. So for everyone, I'm sure you've enjoyed meeting her. So just want to wish you all a great rest of your day, a great rest of your evening, and thank you, Janice, and we'll see you all again next time.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.